Laken Tomlinson, released, saves the Jets $8.1 million in salary cap space. He has started 114 straight games, so he was our most durable offensive lineman that we've had over the last few years. But you could argue it was still going to be a hole that the Jets were going to have to fill anyway, because the level of play has not been very good. And to go from Pro Bowl guard to basically unrosterable in a matter of 2 years is really frustrating for the New York Jets. And it kind of leads you to believe that Trent Williams tackle next to him was making him look so good over in San Francisco. So, Green Bean, I'll throw this one to you first. What are your thoughts on releasing Laken Tomlinson?
Well, I think the timing surprised me, I have to admit. I agree with what you were saying. This comment by Fowler, incredibly durable player who started 114 straight games. Yes, that is factual, and we've spoken about that the value with Laken Tomlinson right now is just that. Like, at least you have somebody who can play, and that's more than likely going to make it through the season, which the Jets don't see on the offensive line. So there's value there, especially for us. But what they see, what's the old saying? 100% of nothing is nothing. You know what I mean? So great, we got a big scrub in there who's like he's somewhat of a turnstile most of the time. But he's in there all the time. So it kind of log jams you in this situation where you have a player, but you don't want to upgrade because he's durable, blah, blah, blah. Dude, we needed an upgrade, and we needed money. So I thought that the Jets would hold on to him post June 1st. It gives you an idea of what you're able to accomplish. And then you can get $13 million instead of the $8, but they need the money going into free agency. This $10 million didn't solve all our problems, if you can imagine that. So I think the value there is the cash. I wouldn't be surprised to learn, in addition to that the Jets did the Jets thing that they do, this organization, where Laken's a good guy and we want to give him an opportunity to have the entirety of free agency to sign on with the team. You know how they do that? Now, it's a positive in some respects. Joe Douglas did it with Avery Williams. He did it with McClendon, trading those guys to contenders. We saw it last year with Dalvin Cook and Roger Saffold. They
did it with Bell too.
Right. So, it's definitely it's a theme with this organization, which is a positive for the most part, except when it's like, or like with Bryce Huff. Like, maybe they're not doing that with Bryce, not locking Bryce Huff up and controlling that situation because he's a good kid and he's homegrown and they love him. And I would love to see the Jets be more shrewd than that. Like, hey, dude, I know, look, of course we love you. You're a great guy, but I got to get something for you, man. You know what I mean? Like that kind of a thing. Now this is hypothetical, of course. It's my thoughts on the matter. I think it's really more about the money, but I wouldn't be surprised to learn that some of their thinking had to do with their emotional feelings toward this man.
O'Leary, what are you thinking about the release of Laken Tomlinson?
It had to be done. I saw a lot of people were like, oh, you could restructure or maybe he takes a pay cut and, he could be in left guard and you don't want to change over too many guys. I hear that argument. I don't agree with it, but I hear it. The thing is, like, if you're going to keep Laken Tomlinson just because he's durable, like, that's not a good enough reason. I get it. The offensive line is banged up. It's always banged up. But for Laken Tomlinson, he's significantly underperformed. You can find someone, you could probably find two guards at the money that you saved, the $8 million. You could probably find two guards in that $8 million who could fill in and do the same job, if not better, than what Laken Tomlinson did. So I happen to really like this guard market a lot. I would like to see the Jets be active in this market on the interior offensive line, and I don't blame them for moving on from what was a mistake. Unfortunately, it was a mistake from Joe Douglas. And I think when you make those, you have to be willing to move on rather than doubling and tripling down on said mistake.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Joe Douglas didn't evaluate Laken Tomlinson the way a GM or a scout probably should. He looked and saw the Pro Bowl Pro Bowl nod like a lot of us saw and was like, oh, guard, former team, knows the offense, seems to make a lot of sense. All of us were on board when we signed him initially. And look, it just didn't work out. Some swings appear to be valid swings that just bad signing. It didn't work out.